Greg, are you trying to spell weather, brother? Gregory, brother, are you trying to spell weather? was that supposed to be funny or make you look like that? All right, what's going on, everybody? It is a matcha morning. How about that? It's going to be a matcha session. Looking forward to getting into it with all of you this morning. Is it legal to marry your Bitcoin wallet? Gabe, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Great to see you. Bitcoin, 17,000 this morning. That's beautiful. That's right. I wasn't even thinking about that. The call was, and again, asterisk. By the way, this is Jordan with Conquer Trading in the Morning. I'm glad that you're here. Looking forward to going over the markets with you today. I think it's going to be a fantastic session. And this afternoon is going to be a rather unusual, fantastic session. So I'm looking forward to that as well. That's right. Tesla added to the S&P 500. Tesla bulls getting paid. That's awesome. Glad to see that. Glad to hear that. Let's see what Tesla yesterday, right? Boom. Look at that. We'll see where that opens up in just a little bit. Really happy to see that. Now, where else? And where was I, right? Oh, Bitcoin, 17,000 this morning. You all know back in July, I put out by December that we are expected to be at 18,000. Look, that was just putting together the pieces of the puzzle, doing the math. Nothing special, although at the time, a lot of people didn't believe it. 18,000, do I think that's where we end up? That's nice. If we end up there, that's perfect, right? We set goals that we can meet, 140,000, for example. If you look at my price target, where I would sell my Bitcoin during the bull market phase, the price target I give is 160,000. 140,000, meet goals that we could achieve. All right, John, absolutely. Tesla and Bitcoin. A lot of people, by the way, I see a lot of chatter about a lot of people that are actually right now going to be looking to sell their Tesla to buy Bitcoin. If you own Tesla and that's something that you're also planning on doing, please let me know. Before we get started over here right now, this morning, I know that retail sales were way off this morning, except for Amazon. Amazon also, by the way, getting into the pharmaceutical industry right now, will be selling to their Prime members now prescription drugs. Are you taking any profits? I am not taking any profits at 18,000. Ben, when I get into Bitcoin, I'll tell you where I do have a couple of small orders in. I shared with the CTM Telegram group. I'll tell you where they are in just a little bit when we look at Bitcoin. Before we get into the session, the last thing I want to just say is a big shout out with by the way, in New York, sarcasm is a thing, right? Sarcasm's a thing in New York. A big shout out to the channel, the YouTube channel. It's called Game of Trades. Yeah, so Game of Trades, big shout out to you, because what they're doing is that they're watching these live streams over here. They're following my analysis and then kind of redistributing it to their channel. That's messed up. I mean, look, you're invited to watch the analysis. I'm here to teach everybody, help everyone navigate the markets. But if you're taking my exact analysis and using my exact same lingo, breakout, retest, resumption, and then talking about why there's more possible room, and then showing the exact same analysis I gave, give credit where credit is due. Otherwise, that's completely twisted and messed up. And I will not only call you out, I will get what? Anyway, so there we go. That's just so bad. Just say give credit. Just give credit where credit's due. That's all, right? So let's get into this. Let's get into the stocks. Yeah. So by the way, again, it is a matcha morning. We're gonna go out like that. That's all right. I'm not going to report anyone. I don't need to get down like that. That's no problem. But since they're listening, I'm going to call them out on that because that's where I'm from. That doesn't fly. That's all. All right. Here we go. Boom, boom. Are they stealing the Kips nickel trade as well? Oh, no, Kips, I wish you didn't say that. I wish you didn't say that because now they can. But if they do, we're going to get them. All right. And then in yesterday's live stream, Sally Hats, when I talked about why there's the potential to go much higher, the second half of the video, they went back and showed exactly why I've outlined that case. I don't need to go ahead and pull up that video. Watch this afternoon's video, though. It's going to be fire. It's nice, nothing to do with the game of trades, but I'm about calling people out today. That's all. S&P 500, let's take a look. As we're seeing the equity markets down. By the way, Tesla, we talked about some people, I've seen comments, are looking to sell Tesla to buy Bitcoin. Any instrument that gets added to an index, usually that is the near-term high. Watch out for that on Tesla right now. And by the way, also look at this right here. Look at this trend line over there that we're coming right into, right over there. Let's just for observation purposes, let's see if this is where we run into some type of resistance. And let's also see as Tesla's being added to the S&P 500. Now, I don't know exactly when that date is. So right now, they're actually X that out. There should still be some run up right now until it's actually added. Whoever knows, if anyone's got the date it's being added, please let me know. I'm not informed. I would like to know what the date is they're being added. But when they're added, historically, December 21st, thank you. December 21st, unexpected visit. They are being added to S&P 500. That should be the near-term high, right? On Tesla, we'll watch. All right, back off. Back to the S&P. I'm noticing that we have all the indexes down pre-market except the Nasdaq unchanged. We'll start with the S&P 500. So where are we right now? Well, above this line, obviously, we're looking bullish. We all know that Jordan didn't bite. And by the way, it would have been a fantastic trade. Anyone who did. Listen, if I'm not taking trade, that's 2%. Anyone who, listen, when I point out my analysis, I'm doing what is best for me. But at the same time, I'm trying to provide you clear, unbiased analysis to make your own trades. If you're waiting for me or any other YouTuber to give you any type of indication of when you should be trading, you are completely doing this wrong and you're not going to make money. I started watching Game of Trades until thanks, brother. I'm not even gonna. Look, this is not what this is for. I am trading from a different position than you are, a much different position. And by the way, 2020 has been one of my best years of my 20-year career by a large margin. The other one was back in 2008 during the crisis. This is another crisis. It's a lot different. By the end of March, I had already exceeded my yearly goal by a factor of 3. All right. The rest of the year has been cruising. Now, don't forget also, it was not too long ago that we said, all right, after this wedge, this descending wedge, we had a nice play over here and it was a 4% trade, right? Most people on the S&P, if you buy and hold historically, it's about a 7-8% return, right? Now we've come up into the elections. I've been on the sidelines, right? And then not only that, over here, by the way, this was valuable advice. Do you remember when everyone here was extraordinarily bearish? And I basically came out and said, listen, do not sell. I'm not going to buy, I said, but do not sell because the risk to reward is not there. And then we came up way too far and way too fast. That over here, I've become hesitant and I'm cautious. I like it. That's what I'm doing. If my analysis makes something so clear for you that you see the trade, that is the whole idea of providing this analysis. Don't wait to do what I'm doing. And it's not often that I do call out trades. And by the way, the last one before that S&P one that I did call out and say was over here on the swing trade on Bitcoin. And by the way, everyone took, right, 14% on 40% of their trade. And that was in a matter of days. 14%. And then are still holding that. The 60% is up over 50% now. And that's being held, by the way, until we exit Bitcoin, right? At the top of the bull market. So right there, if anyone and this will be directed directly at someone later on today. If you would have taken this one trade, you'll have done better than you will in your whole career. So that's that. All right. So where are we? Do I think Fabiancas are a waste of time? I'm pretty sure that there are some. I don't know of any, but I imagine that there are successful traders who are able to trade off of fib levels alone, because it's something that you could set your risk off of. Trading at the end of the day is a 100% about risk management. And if you could use fibs to do that, I'm sure that there have been people that have been successful doing that. Do I think it's a waste of time? I think that trading off of support and resistance, trading price alone, price is the only non-lagging indicator, not that fibs are lagging, off of support and resistance, the market structure, with the help of trend lines and chart patterns, is by far not only the easiest, but the best way to trade. All right, let's go. So S&P 500 right now, what's going on? Not much. Am I paying attention to these lower highs? No. That's fine right now. I see it's there, but I also see lower highs, right? I don't really have a read on there, and I'm just backing off. Again, anyone who took those, get on you. I don't want to, and I'm good with that. Nasdaq, however, is bumping up against this trend line over here. If the Nasdaq does break out, whether or not it's on the Nasdaq or one of the other indexes, probably a good chance a trade will be setting up. If we break above here, I like the action. Now, at the same time, there's something inside me, by the way, there's something inside for me that is looking for, and this could be wrong. You know, I had to fight for a long time. I had to retrain myself to have this innate contrarian view, because you should not be a contrarian, actually. You should go with the flow. Guess what? More than often than not, stocks go up, right? But I have something inside me right now, an intuition telling me that if we break back below this trend line over here, that I'm going to be attacking to the downside. So just watch out for that. Watch that. I'm going to be watching out for that. But right now, though, the nearest thing that could happen, Nasdaq comes up over here. By the way, is that something that you take right here? If we make over here is the London high, spiking above that trend line, closing below it. If we have right there a resumption up, is that a trade you take this session right here? It looks like a good one to me. It looks like a good one to me. And why? Because then your risk is so well defined. Your risk is so well defined. Thank you, JC Travels. Thank you, JC Travels. I'm glad I caught that comment. By the way, if I'm missing your comment, it's not because I'm not looking. It's only because I'm watching the charts right now. I'm glad I caught that one. And Brandon, that's so important to have that self-knowledge, that self-reflection. I know that you're not a contrarian when it comes to crypto, but if you find, and whoever's listening to this, it's a matcha morning, if you find yourself that you're a contrarian, you have to fix that. No, look, I guess it's hard. No, there's no way I'm bearish on the S&P 500. Everyone knows above that trend line, I'm bullish. I'm just not participating. Above this trend line right over here, do you guys see, does everyone see this pattern, that this triangle over here that we've broken out to the top? Of course I'm bullish on the S&P 500. Not only I'm bullish, we could see some dizzying numbers. If we break below this trend line over there, that means something's very wrong. I probably will be looking to attack. I'm letting you know ahead of time. That's right, Donald. That's true. All right, let's go. Do we need to look at the Dow this morning? It looks a lot like the S&P 500, and so does the Russell, right? Okay, nothing to see or do over there. The DXY is kind of interesting this morning. I woke up this morning and I looked at the DXY. I saw that it was trading down. I then looked at gold and silver and saw that they were trading down. The first thought that came to my mind is, I wonder in FX if some currency is just bid today against the dollar. And it's sure enough, it's the pound. The pound, you can see over here against the New Zealand dollar, up 1%. Against the US dollar is up now only at 0.4%. It was up a little higher. You can see it coming off a little bit right now. And I think that's what was putting the pressure on the DXY. Gold since has turned unchanged on the day. We'll look at them in a second, but watch this support level right over here on the DXY. A break below there, right? Looking for a retest and a resumption. And then I think that there's a great chance we take out the yearly low. That's the trade we've been watching setting up. It's coming in. It's coming right now, happening in real time. Now, the one caveat, and there's always a caveat, there's something, right? And I don't know what you all think, Kips included. As we're getting closer here, it looks like there's not going to be any deal, right? Look, I think that's probably very bullish for the pound to leave without a deal, right? However, I don't know what the near-term market reaction will be. I don't know if they leave without a deal, they expect volatility one way or the other, and that's going to be reflected in the DXY. I'm pointing this out to you right now. I'm pointing this, Ali, let's not spam the channel, brother. I'm pointing this out to you right now because if we see some major volatility on the pound, it will be reflected in the DXY. We have to separate what's going on with the pound from what's going on with the dollar. All right? So let's keep going. Amazon, listen, Amazon's just going to keep. Amazon is a bit like Bitcoin. It's a little bit like Bitcoin in the fact that Bitcoin is just consuming everything around it. And Amazon is also consuming everything around it. So there's a little bit of a similarity between the two. Yeah, let's jump back down over to here. Let's start with nickel, right? Because nickel is down today. And when you see red, that's probably a really good sign over here. Do you see that? We are coming right into that resistance right there. It is clear as day right over here. By the way, the only two trades that we highlighted yesterday were the pound and platinum. And platinum, right? Platinum, I don't see an entry, by the way. We'll look at that in just 1 second. Let's look at nickel. That's right. Especially if they leave without a deal, I think could fly. So, boom. But back to nickel over here. I'm on the 8-hour. That's fine. Normally we look at nickel on the 3-day. I'm going to, and here, look, let me give you the overview. Look at this massive, beautiful channel. Look at this beautiful bull trend. I have no idea how far Kips has been riding it, but it's still very, very early. If you look at the reason for the case of the trade, we're not going to get into that right now. Look at this trend line over there on the 8-hour. This is providing a possible swing entry right now. A resumption off there is very clean, very good. Do keep track that, those that are watching, right? XRP's up today. We'll talk about that for sure. That's awesome. Palladium over here is having trouble with this bit of resistance right over there. Once it gets above that little bit of resistance, that is looking very, very good. You could see setups developing right now on the metals, right? What else do we have? Platinum, right? I don't really see an entry on there because we shot up. We never even really had a pullback. There's that one, down bar, and this thing keeps going. Just wait. Now that we've broken above out of this, like this is a funny pattern I have over here, but this is like a bull flag. This is a downward sloping channel. It's not a bull flag. This is a downward sloping channel, right? We've broken out now for sure. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Wait, set up the trade, and then look for the extension out, right? That looks nice. What else? Copper. This might be offering an opportunity right now. Why? Because you can see that it's pulled back. Look at that nice little trend line. Look at the uniformity of the market, right? Look at that. That's nice. Coming back down now into that. That is offering also. All these look very good. Our lower tier metals all look very good. Nickels make dollars. I like that slogan a lot. Let's look at first gold, unchanged on the day, and then we'll look at silver. We got a pause. What's going on here? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, we'll look, Mindful Trader, definitely look at that. We'll start off FX, looking at the Euro, Japanese yen, see what's going on. So gold still, this is silver. I was going to say this looks good. Gold, right, still below the trend line over there, having a little bit of trouble. Consolidating, holding up well. It looks to me that we're going to see in a big way. Watch out for the Fed in December. It looks like what I'm reading between the headlines is that the Fed is going to be extending the maturity date of their QE, basically just continuing to increase their balance sheet for an extended period of time. Let's see how gold and silver react to that. It's still safe, I think, the gold line over there, 1914. Silver's looking a little bit better right now over here. It looks good to me, but still, right? Everyone sees how safe I've been playing the markets. Above 26 is still the clearest, unless, let's see what happens. But right now, those are not as attractive as the bottom metals that we looked at over here, right? So that could change. It looks like they're getting right. It looks like they're coiled, and it looks like they're getting ready to jump. It looks like they're coiled, and it looks like they're getting ready to jump. We do need to look at Bitcoin, then we'll look at the Euro, Japanese yen. We'll look at some of crypto first, all right? Yeah, definitely. Of course. That's all. Yes. Thank you, Kenny. God bless you too, my brother. Thank you for saying that. That really touches the heart. Thank you for that. By the way, if you are listening, if you're enjoying this little bit of a matcha session and spending this time together with myself and the community, please go ahead and help support the channel. Smash that like button. Get me fired up. Help the YouTube algorithm know what's going on over here. We're looking at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is now above, hit 17,000 is a nice number, right? If you remember my tweet a couple of weeks ago, Bitcoin was at 14,000. I was like, you know what? It looks like Bitcoin wants to be trading at 16. And 16 was fine, but 17 has a nice ring to it, don't you think? Isn't it nice seeing those numbers, 17,000 on Bitcoin? I know I like seeing it, right? I like seeing it a lot. So this is what I'm targeting over here into this resistance. This is right near the all-time highs. Now, listen, I have no crystal ball. Now with Bitcoin, I have quite the roadmap. I like to think of it as a treasure map. And if you're not familiar with the treasure map, do go ahead and watch the Bitcoin playlist. Yeah, 18K will be better. I agree. I have a couple of orders in. They're very light. Right now, they are 2/9 of my tradable Bitcoin position. 2/9 is very small, right? They're at 18,932, right? Am I telling you or suggesting that you should also exit over there? No, I don't think so. I think actually the safer thing is waiting. So listen, if you have a 30% drawdown right now, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't buy myself. If I have a 30% drawdown and we trade back down to 12,000, at 12,000, I am comfortably fully positioned. Like there's no, like comfortably riding nice profit. I don't need to add to my position, even though it's a solid entry, right? If we have a 30% pullback, and it takes us back, somewhere around 14, 15, 16,000, I will be adding to that pullback as my first 30% pullback. So do take note of that, because the thing that you want to do is be on the right side of the trade and manage it correctly. You don't want to get into a position in Bitcoin where you're over positioned and therefore make a mistake. It's better to be comfortably positioned, riding a profit, than it is to get yourself watch out for that greed side, right? You have to do it. You have to do it right. Bruce, that's awesome. I love that too. And I'm the same way. I'm fully positioned. However, I will be trading the number 2, the 3 ways to trade Bitcoin in the bull market. And I will be adding on 30% pullbacks because it's good money. So this is what we're looking at. I said I didn't think that was big resistance. So far, it looks like we're blowing past it. We do have to watch this now. Watch over here, right? Look, this area over here. If we break back below this resistance over here, and now I have this little bit of a guide of a trend line over there. If we break below that, then we could be looking for maybe a move back down towards over in this area, right? That would be the first thing that we would be watching for. But right now, it looks to be as if we are possibly making and looking to make that move towards that next bit of resistance. There's a lot of noise over here. Now, I happen to do it. So well, let's say I'm conflicted when it comes to Max Kaiser. Okay, I am conflicted when it comes to him on a couple of different things. But one of the things, but respect. And he says that as Bitcoin trades above 20,000 or the new all-time high, it's basically straight past 30,000 because there's nothing there in the way. That's not how I read markets at all. Normally, as a new all-time high is made, there's a little bit of an area over here, that's right around there between 18 and 21. Perfect, right? That, usually you'll see a pullback. That's what I'm looking for. That's my base case. If I'm wrong, I've only taken off 2/9 my position. So I'm not going to be missing anything. All right. No deal is bad for the British pound. I think that the market's initial reaction could be that it's bad for the British pound, but I think a no deal is great for the British pound, personally. And who else? There are other people that who else? There's an interview with that you should watch. Just because if you have an opinion, you should know all sides. For real, always. There's an interview on Real Vision on YouTube, free, with Steve Bannon and Kyle Bass. Watch that interview and then see what you think. Am I getting? Oh, that's a good question. I wasn't thinking about that, and the answer is no. That's a good question. Thank you, Dad. And look, you have to be flexible. And yeah, I was looking as we crossed 18,000 to dump my Ethereum. Bitcoin, all right, everyone's got a good read on that now. I'm going to move forward. Ethereum, I was looking as Bitcoin traded around 18,000. I moved that number up from 16,000 to drop my Ethereum and Chainlink positions. Not because I don't think they're going higher. I think they're going much higher. I think that Ethereum has a 3x in it, or maybe a 2.5x in it within a matter of months from where it is right now. Personally, not investment advice. Nevertheless, I'm probably going to be waiting now and forget the price of Bitcoin. And, I don't know. I'll tell you when I'm exiting, but it's not going to be at 18,000 right now, because I think that as Bitcoin comes to a position, like right now, the move is all Bitcoin. As Bitcoin begins to rest and consolidate, that's when alts should make their move. And as alts make their move, that strength, whenever that leg comes, I don't know when that leg is going to come. When that leg comes, then I will be looking to exit both Ethereum. And by the way, right, we're getting close to that 500 level. Above there, 600 is going to come quickly, in my opinion. So we're getting ready for that leg up, I believe. Chainlink having problem getting above this level over here. When I say problem, it's getting above over here again, 1325. We're still having trouble at that 1292. Once we get above this noise, though, I think Chainlink's going to be flying too. Chainlink, I might sell way early. It might be towards this 1580. I don't know. I'm gonna read the market as it's happening, and I'll let you know as it's unfolding. Let's look at Ripple XRP this morning. And it has taken out a massive resistance today with authority. Like, it punched through that resistance. Do you see that? Right over here, it just punched through it. Ran into a little bit of consolidation right over there, but looking very healthy. By the way, what happens once we cross that red line up there, right? That red line is over. It's not too far away. It's almost at 32 cents, right? XRP could start to fly. We're seeing EOS and XRP almost in the same category these days. Both of them are bid today. Litecoin off a little bit after some massive moves. Litecoin also, everything looks very good. Nothing else to say. Well, let's start looking at the Euro Japanese yen and then get into FX. No, XRP has no use case anymore, right? Yep. So do you look at I don't look at Litecoin. So the reason let me just tell you before we get into FX right now, the reason I don't look at Litecoin, one of my oldest and best friends is heavily invested into Litecoin. He was during the last bull market, and he made a lot of money off of it. And the thing is often when we have, it could be with stocks also, currencies, when you have a lot of success with it, it's like brand awareness, right? You become attached to that brand. And Litecoin, had a little bit more utility in the past, where it was kind of like a test net for Bitcoin. I don't really think that's the case so much anymore. Litecoin is, look, it's fine, but it doesn't compare to Bitcoin. So I can't imagine investing in Litecoin over Bitcoin. It's just simple as that. Litecoin does not compare to Bitcoin, so I can't imagine investing in Litecoin, right? Again, in my opinion, using low leverage Would you move your S&P to break even? If I took the entry, and I was not, if you took either one of these entries over here, 100% I would be having, that's a big move. That's a 2% move, you know? I would definitely have my stop loss at break even and be riding that comfortably, 100%. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I wonder, and I don't know. I wonder if Litecoin makes a new all-time high or not during this during this bull market. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have any type of speculation on that. So what I see right here on the Euro Japanese yen, by the way, is I see, does everyone see what I see? Look at that. Look at that orderly consolidation right there, right? That looks pretty nice. It looks like on a breakout of above, it could be a good trade over there. Steph, thanks for the support, man. Thanks for being here with everyone. Awesome icon, by the way. I like that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Looks like a moon. Looks beautiful. So, yep, we could definitely look at that. Let's finish looking at the the Euro Japanese yen here, and you can see that looks very orderly over there, right? We'll just keep watching it. Nothing's happening right now. I mean, there's no trade to be had right now whatsoever. A breakout outside this channel probably first takes us to that resistance before the retest and then the resumption out if we get the resumption out. So that's very neutral right now. Very neutral. Bull flag, that looks like a bull flag downward sloping channel to me. That looks like a clean bull flag to me. Steph wanted to check out UBT. What are we looking at over there? Are we looking at pro shares of Ultra 20-year treasuries, or are we looking at Unibright? I'm not familiar. Please let me know. Oh yeah, Frederick, we'll flip right back in a second. Let me know which one we're looking at there. Unibright. We'll flip live right back to WTI in 1 second, which is looking good. All right, let me start on the 3-day time frame. And look, I'm not familiar with the project at all, and that's important. It's kind of like investing in an equity company. You have to know what the company does, what their balance sheet looks like, what their management looks like, and what they're up to. And you know, I don't have any idea here, and there's not much read on the charts, anything whatsoever to go off of. There's a big resistance over there, and above there, it would look a lot better, but there's no way to get any type of read whatsoever what's going on over here at all. Let's go back and look at WTI right over here. WTI looks very, very healthy. What I'm seeing is, again, since June, right, I've been sidelined with the exception of 2 trades, which just happened to like coincide with some hurricanes that gave a little bit of help and it worked out well. But this looks very nice over here, breaking out above this channel, right? Breaking out bullish over here to the upside, resuming off, right? It looks very good. Now, do you wait for the safe trade over here, getting above 420.80, right? Opening up new legs up. I don't know. It looks, if I wanted to trade oil, and do I think that oil's not even remotely close to one of the instruments that I would want to be trading right now, right? All as I can say is that it has now broken out of a clear channel over here, and now therefore opens up the possibility to trade to the long side, but it's not something that's attractive to myself. So by the way, a lot of people, right? A lot of people are wondering, are we only going to have 20% pullbacks during this next bull market? It's a possibility, right? I don't think so. I think that we're going to see 30% pullbacks. You could already see the volatility to the upside is very intense. It's very strong. And when you have that type of volatility, it's not only to the upside, but you'll see a lot of traders who get shaken out of hands. That's what volatility does. It shakes out weak hands. You start seeing price, drop in. People are like, it's time to get out. Boom, in your face. That's why when I talked about the 3 ways to trade the Bitcoin bull market, that the first one I said is probably the best scenario for most people. So don't get shaken out of your Bitcoin. Let's go. Let's look at what's going on the Euro Australian dollar right now. And you can see over here, this is the Euro Australian dollar. You can see that blue box is there for a reason. We're back in that consolidation phase. And there's nothing there for myself to trade. If you can, a trader could be successful in a range-bound market, being able to identify range-bound markets, selling resistance, and buying support. Not myself. I'm looking to push trades, multiple. Thanks, Gemma. Looking to push trades, multiple levels. TLT, I could look at it really quick because we're in that kind of mood over here. But it's not something that I trade at all whatsoever, right? At all. Someone asked me in yesterday's comment on YouTube, I was going to look at it in the afternoon, why I don't trade TLT and some other instruments. And it's simply because why is it? I guess because I'm happy what I look at and what I trade, right? And there's also like a very uniform relationship between everything I trade that helps me get a better read on the market. I don't see the edge in trading this whatsoever. Zero. But you could see that clear pattern over here, right? And that's what you'd be watching and tracking, waiting for a breakout outside that pattern. What is the strategy? What is your strategy for taxes? Can a swing trader get any sort of tax breaks like a day trader status? And are you incorporated? You should check out igorgreentrader.com. They'll be able to answer all your tax questions and help you. There's also a lot of information, greentrader.com, a lot of information on there that you could do your own research on with to begin before you are interested in using any of their service. JD Made, I know the best place by far. There's a link in the description below for the course I offer. Now, whether you're just getting started with Forex with no experience, as the person who built the website did, he took the course, web developer, Brad, big shout out, loved the course, and then built the website on his own, just to say thank you. And I've also had many people trading over 15 years who have also taken the course and have had success with it. That's definitely the place. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. I think that unfortunately is going to gel in with a lot of people after the fact. If you haven't yet watched that Bitcoin playlist, become very familiar with it. Morning. How's it going, brother? Looking at the previous halving, we should be in a pullback territory. Yeah. As we hit towards 19, 20,000 up in that area. I've continued to say that until we hit between 18 and 21, right? I didn't expect it, and I've pinned that down to more towards 19 and 20 where I am expecting it to happen. But yeah, it's possible, and it's also possible that we do not get any type of pullback. That I'll call it the Max Kaiser trade, right? Max is saying that, look, we're looking for Bitcoin 30,000 and above before we have that first 30% pullback. I don't think that's the case, but we will see. Look at this. This is the DAX. I've been saying, this is only the last few days, right? I've been saying that in 2021, the DAX could be the trade. It could be the best performing index. We could see with the vaccine, we could see a move back towards value from growth. I don't know. I'm not really concerned, but you could see here on the DAX. Look, just follow my mouse right there. Follow my mouse. You could see the resistance. This is what the market is saying to you, right? This is what the market is showing to you. It's paying attention to right now. A break above, further upside. A rejection. I don't know, I don't see any types of warning signs on the U.S. indexes that we are in. Technically, they're all looking very good, right? Especially if the Nasdaq joins in today, then they're all looking great. So I can't see any of the European indexes looking to sell off over here. Well, let's go right now. Let's take a look all through FX. I want to keep going with this flow, with this energy over here, right? Well, yeah, Mr. B, I am confident. I was thinking this morning as I was making not only my matcha but my coffee, I am confident that a significant amount of people in the Conquering the Markets group, a significant amount of people follow this channel for sure, right? Captain Benny was sharing last night with the Telegram group that he's up over 100,000 on his Bitcoin trade. It hasn't even gotten started. We're not even making new all-time highs yet, right? A significant amount of millionaires, I believe, will attribute their success to the information I put out on Bitcoin over the past year. I believe that with all my heart. I don't follow volume ever. We've had low volume all year. Markets are trading at all-time highs, right? Anthony, is that not true? We've had low volume all year, and the markets are trading at all-time highs, right? So if you're holding, that's true. That's a good question. Do I think the most growth in the U.S., Europe, or Asia post-vaccine? I can't answer that question. It's a great question, and I definitely do not know. I don't have the answer to that. That's a great question. Anyone else that does have any thoughts, include them in the comments. That's a great question. I don't know. It's complicated. So, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Look at this. We've taken out this resistance. We're going to really get into FX right now. I've been waiting for a wave. Yesterday, there were only two pairs that were flagged, right? It was right here after we had that retest into that broken resistance support, resumption off, right? Conquering the markets all day long. It's right here. And then the other one was over here on platinum, and there was no entry on platinum that I see, right? So let's start over today. Let's see what the session will bring and take a look at it over there. Yeah, I mean, Ray Dalio. Yeah, look, anyone who's betting against Bitcoin, missing Bitcoin, what could you say? Let's see. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Oh, you think you should bet against Bitcoin? Go ahead and put your money where your mouth is. Mine is significantly. I was fully positioned into Bitcoin below 9,000 with over 50% of my net worth into Bitcoin. That is significantly higher now. It's almost 100% higher now. Go ahead and bet against it. Put your money where your mouth is. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar looks nice over here, pulling back into that broken resistance right now. That's definitely something to consider, although the entry, right? Let's see what Asia does. I'm going to definitely flag it. It's live. We'll see. Over here, Australian dollar, Swiss franc. Look, do you see what I'm going to do right now? Do you see that the market is paying attention to that area over here? I had my resistance over there, rightfully so. That belongs there, actually. I'm going to keep that level right there. That's definitely a strong level as well. But the market's paying attention also up here. I'm just going to add that in. I stay away generally from the Swiss franc. I've noticed that it's been very weak, right? I've noticed that it's been very weak over the past couple of weeks. It's an observation I make. I'm seeing no signs of risk on. Of risk off. I'm seeing the Japanese yen very weak. I'm seeing the Swiss franc very weak. I'm seeing the indexes flying. No signs right now of risk off. And I want to see if I feel like for some reason that the indexes might sell off. I want to see that bid into the Japanese yen. I want to see that bid into the Swiss franc to show me that it is, again, that flow of everything working together. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. What about this right now? Right? Is that something? No, there's nothing going on, right? Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, nothing. I feel like, that's what the market's giving. Australian dollar, US dollar, I feel like the US dollar is on the verge of possibly breaking down over here. If that happens, right, we're going to see the Australian dollar, US dollar go out to take out that resistance. Is that the pair you want to trade? New Zealand dollar, we said yesterday, New Zealand dollar and the pound in that order have been the two strongest pairs. They're leading versus the dollar. If the dollar breaks down, those two pairs should lead as well. Let me flip over. Let me flip down to the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. About to break down a trend line. So I'm missing the trend line. I'm just missing it, right? So this was the last trend line I was tracking. Where was I on that? It looks good over here after that huge breakout, though, right? Now consolidating orderly, and you could see over here, look what these two touches are, right? You could see that this area of support bringing back over there. Let me just go ahead and throw that up right where the market is right now. And that looks good, and that looks interesting. I'm just going to put that as a possible thing to review tonight and look at it. I don't, Rich, Cardano, Charles Hawkinson, I don't, there are a few people who definitely have taken positions, right? If Ethereum failed, then Cardano probably should take off. But, I'm not so interested. I'm interested in Bitcoin, look, if you're playing this right, if you're focused right, you have the opportunity to literally make a fortune in the next year. That's how I'm playing it, right? Listen, I've made and lost fortunes before. I got a little bit of experience to go off of over here. I'm looking over here to put together a trade. And, I saw Jeff, and I like listening to him, is the Bond King, Jeff Grunlock, I believe his name. And, on a Real Vision interview, and he's saying that he's waiting for the next big trade. And I'm thinking to myself, what is he waiting for? It's here right now, right? So yeah. Anyway, I think that they'll continue to lag until Bitcoin finishes this push, and as Bitcoin then consolidates, I think that you'll see the alts fly. I believe in alt season. I definitely believe. We just looked at the German 30, right? They're just right now right under resistance. All right, let's keep going over here. Let me finish going on before we have some fun together, discussing different things. There it is, Jeffrey Gunlach. Before we discuss fun things together, let me finish doing my homework over here, looking at FX, and I'm seeing a lot of nothing going on. So that's fine. That's a sign right there. You could see that weakness of the Swiss franc as the Japanese yen continues to outperform. Euro Canadian dollar, this is actually interesting over here. Let me go ahead and first see how important this line is. This was resistance I have over here. I see that I'm pulled back into it, and I want to just go back and check to make sure that my line is appropriate there. And for sure, right, that makes sense to have that line there. This is definitely something that is getting green lighted as we've broken that level, are now pulling back. And then if we flip up, possibly, yeah, that looks pretty good. Timothy, that's where I've been at and have tried my hardest to guide and recommend everyone, right? That a 2 or 3x Bitcoin position is a lot safer, a lot better of an investment than getting involved into alts. If you look at the data in the last bull market, alts outperform, and it was a lot different of a bull market, by the way, right? But if you look at, because this one is led by Bitcoin in the fact that you're seeing public companies, you're seeing family offices, high net worth individuals, you're seeing funds all take positions in Bitcoin right now. The last Bitcoin bull market and alt season was more about people funding projects through Ethereum. So it's a lot different. However, I do believe that we're going to see altcoin. I think it's almost as on time as you can get. I thought it was going to be 6 months after the halving, right? We're 7 months after the halving right now. But again, those are guidelines. I think alts, right, are gonna fly soon. Euro, Swiss franc. What do you all read of that? What this pattern over here, right? I don't know what to make of it. I see that we're into that resistance over here. I'm going to just extend that out. We're into resistance. The Swiss franc is weak right now. Above that, does that become interesting? I don't know. If I don't know, guess what? I move along. We'll look at the pound Canadian dollar. Definitely. Oh, I saw that. I'm glad you brought that to my attention. This morning, as we were all getting into the room, I saw that. And this is awesome, right? This is awesome. Let me show you why. So forgive my rough, broad strokes, but that's how I play it, right? And you can see that we've broken up over here. Also pay attention over here. We had 2 breaks over here and they failed. And this one over here, by the way. So, all right, sorry. This over here, learning experience, there would have been no long trade over here, right? Because we're now looking at this triangle forming over here. But you see this over here that there could have been an entry over here. There's no trade over here, right? And that for sure, this one you're protected, right? We're right now breaking out of that triangle, right? We have a little bit of noise like over here. I have that trend line down there. There's one up here. However, right now, I think that this is actually giving an opportunity as we pull back over there. And if this resumes out, I think for me, it's worth, taking a shot at it and seeing where it goes because it is a big consolidation pace. Now, Greg, yesterday in the Telegram group, did point out something very important. And he said he's noticed that he has a lot more success trading off of horizontal support and resistance than he does trend lines. Now, do take note that this way of trading is articulated as trading price off of the market structure of support and resistance with the help of trend lines and chart patterns. And horizontal support and resistance always take precedent, right? I've always affirmed that. Nevertheless, here you got a nice pattern over here. You got also the British pound heavily in play. I like it. There he is. Greg, very well said yesterday. Appreciated that share. Euro Canadian dollar. There we go. All right, let's keep going. Let me just pause over at the euro, US dollar. And again, you could see the dollar, the DXY, on the verge of possibly breaking down, right? We looked, when I say that, I just want you all to know to what I'm talking about in case you missed it this morning, right? We're breaking below this area of support over here, right? A retest and a resumption that could take us down to test and break the yearly lows. Here is the euro US dollar, right? And you could see that also the same. So if that happens, the euro might become a little bit more attractive for sure. Right now, it remains sidelined. And the euro, by the way, has given a lot of just look, the euro over here, right? And this stands out particularly because I wrote that very well. It's not about trading all the time. It's not about trading. I need to be in the market. It's really about picking your setups. Look, the last going on 3 weeks now have been a lot different than the rest of the year for myself. Whereas there's no clear trends. There's no clear edge. And I'm trading it accordingly. Euro New Zealand dollar. Is this a fake breakdown? Is this something to pay attention to over there? Or more importantly, we're definitely in a downtrend. We're coming back up into resistance. It's a lot easier, Brandon, if you're listening and watching, right? And I always have to keep myself from doing it. You don't want to be the contrarian. You don't want to be the contrarian. This is a downtrend coming back. And look right there. There's also, you see this little bit of area right here, and then the touch to there, and then right there. We're into local resistance right now, right? So what does that mean? That's definitely green lit. All right. There's definitely green lit. How do they know they took your info? How do you know they took their info? Because if you watch my live stream from yesterday morning and then you watch their afternoon video, it's the same video, Joe. It's the same video. And then if you go back and you watch before my channel was active, they never used the lingo they use now, that the lingo I used. It's as obvious can be, you know, and it's messed up. So if you do watch their channel, let them know, listen, if you're going to take Conquer Trading and Investing's information and analysis, then at least source it and say where you got it from, right? So that's green lit also. So what I am seeing, and they don't look orderly to me, I'm seeing a bunch of green lights pop up. That's good. I like that. I would like to have a set of waves. Did they say Taco Tuesday? They're also selling our merchandise on their channel. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. By the way, it is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Euro Japanese yen, orderly, but not yet, right? Not green lit. Again, this is beautiful seeing this pattern play out over here as we're getting closer to the resolution here between the Euro, the EU, and the UK. So let me just follow what the market's paying attention to. We'll keep watching it. We'll keep watching it. Euro, Swiss franc, what do you looked at? We're into the pound. All right, let's see what's going on with some pound pairs as the pound is being bid today. No, I am, Kips. It's all good, but I guess I don't know if it's all good or not. Look, it's all good, but you should just really give credit where credit's due. I do it all the time, right? Anytime I learn, I listen to a conversation, there's something that I want to point out to you, I tell you exactly where I heard it and who it was from. That's all. So, you know, Robert, we're looking for it. We've been talking about it all the time, right? So pound Australian dollar. This is still in this big blue box over here, still on the side. No need to get aggressive over here. Notice the pound is waking up over here. We got this green lit, pounds, Japanese yen, right? So I am looking at it because right over there you can see that is holding right now. We're not resuming up. Resuming up actually in this case, in my mind, is a little bit more gray area and just getting above that resistance. That would open up actually a nice looking trade. It's one to consider. So I'm going to yellow light it. Maybe it'll look better in Asia this evening, and maybe it'll be the trade I take. It looks like that actually tonight that, and again, I've said before, this is not a rule of thumb, but something to consider. Often it makes sense not to take any trades on Monday. Let Monday play out after the weekend. Do your analysis on Monday, really get in the flow, and then all of a sudden on Tuesday you get a lot of setups. That's playing out this week right now. Robert, go back and watch the live stream. When we go back and watch the beginning of the live stream, because you're going to get the best information. When I looked at Bitcoin, I gave a really good overview of what currently is going on Bitcoin and exactly the price level where I have a sell order in and where I expect the correction to come from. Right? And that's and Ted, that's the one thing I have to say about Raul also, the one thing that I that rubs me the wrong way. If you look at his Bitcoin paper he put out making the case for Bitcoin to like a subscribed like high-end service of whatever it is, and he took everything from Bitcoiners. He laid out the Bitcoiners, Bitcoin argument. If you look at Michael Seiler, right, when he does an interview, he references every resource who he learned from. That's the way to do it. All right. Yeah, Woody. It's no good. Pound New Zealand dollar, look at this over here. Is that a triple bottom? Either way, we have to have a support level down over there. Right? What's up on the upside? This is a level. Let me draw it in. This is a level to pay attention to next. Get above there, right? You can see that. Is that a triple bottom over there? I don't know. Maybe. But it is definitely a move into support, right? It's a move into support. And then you can see this resistance right above us over there, right? And it's right above there. Does that become cleaner? Is there anything else I could give myself as an edge over here to help me, right? Because this looks interesting. What is this? The pound New Zealand dollar. Interesting. Is that needed? No. All right. I'm just going to yellow light this to keep watching it. It's not happening right now. The pound, I didn't take this trade last night, right? I missed it. There it is. Breakout, retest, resumption. Asian equities. New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. Is that I mean, am I being too preemptive? Is that, we'll keep it up there just to see. So New Zealand dollar, I'm noticing right away, after that big moves it's put in last week, it's now consolidating. Other pairs are taking advantage of it. I don't know what to make of that or read into it just yet, so I'm not going to read into anything to it. And this looks interesting over here if this is able to hold. That's already green lighted. I like it. There's a big wave. I mean, well, there's not a big wave. There's a decent wave on the horizon. It's nice to see. It's been a couple of weeks, right? So there we are. There we are. Well, that's the thing too, Jerry. I mean, you hear the people wrongly say, look, if you have an equity portfolio, people tend to be way heavy allocated to equities, including not just in their investment portfolios, but their retirement portfolios also. And then you hear like, oh, well, you should have 5% Bitcoin to protect yourself. No. No, you shouldn't have 5% Bitcoin to protect yourself. You should have a proportional to what the trade, to the value of the trade in your portfolio. Why would you want to have 5% Bitcoin allocation so that even if equities crash, your Bitcoin protects your portfolio? Yeah, I mean, that's the Ray Dalio bet over there. So there's one thing to add to that thought process over there, and that is China's next move, or China's current move, is to become self-reliant, right? Basically, they're being cut off from the West, and the West is cutting them off, and they're cutting themselves off at the same time. So you're going to see China try to become self-resilient. That's not an easy move to make. That's like walking a tightrope. You know, it's very difficult. A lot could go wrong. Oh, it's just getting started. It is just getting started over here. Bitcoin up on the session now. All right. So what else are we looking at today? I had a chance to really follow the comments and look at them. And if there's anything we want to talk about, I've done my work. I have a full read on the markets, and I'm happy about it, right? Finally seeing it's not such a massive wave. I always talk about that setups come in waves. So when they happen, you have lots to choose from. And then that's one of the edges. Then you deciding which you believe is the best setup. But we have, you know, it's worth being on your board right now, getting ready in case a wave breaks tonight, right? Bitcoin is consuming alts right now. Let me hold the line. Hold the line. I think that as Bitcoin finishes, that hopefully, I don't know that I'm right. Hopefully, alts join the party, right? That would be very healthy. If Bitcoin spikes up, right? If Bitcoin spikes up to our expected take profit area, expected possible 30% drawdown area, and has a quick spike down, how will alts react? I don't know. And that's the thing about trading. You never know. You're making risk. You're making bets that are based on risk. So, by the way, from this area over here, what does a 30% pullback look like? Yeah. So I said to you earlier, right? If Bitcoin pulled back to 14, 15, 16, I would add to it. If Bitcoin pulled back to 13,000, I would also be game to make that my first add. If we had the first 30% pullback was towards that area, now it would be way more technically bullish, right? If this is where the 30% pullback came into, right? A little bit higher. Let me just see what that looks like for myself. Right? Oof. So could you imagine a perfect scenario? Price either just going below or just below the last spike all-time high on Bitcoin, then pulling back 30% right into that beautiful, beautiful breakout from the July 2019 high. That would be lovely. I would like to be leaning in, and I would lean in if it was below it, right? Anything above 1250, I will be leaning to on the first 30% pullback. There it is. I just worked that out for myself. Anything above 12,500 on the first 30% pullback, I will be leaning into it. You know, I mean, this is the type of thing that, like, if you weren't in early, you don't yeah, Greg, that's a great comment, by the way. Look, I didn't. You all know, anyone who's paying attention, that there are two types of the year where I go almost completely neutral, and that is the last 2 weeks of December into like around January the 5th, and then also the last 2 weeks of August. I didn't plan on being so neutral during these last couple of weeks of the election. Going election week for sure, I was more leaning that way, but the charts were I'm just following the charts. Really, they're my guide. So I think the lesson there for myself and for everyone else is the flexibility you need to have. It's that redefining patience also, that very well put, always well articulated. Brandon, I'm not going to short Bitcoin looking for that 85% move drawdown, which I believe will happen. I'm not going to short it. I'm going to be waiting to accumulate back into Bitcoin, right? I don't believe there's no need to short Bitcoin. I'd rather, and you could do the math for yourself, whatever your Bitcoin position is, right? Pick a target that you're looking for, right? And then look for 35,000 as where you're going to be accumulating back in. Now, if we overshoot to the upside and if we trade 250,000, I'll have to reevaluate those numbers, but that's pretty much right where it's going to be, which is why I say anything below 30,000 is cheap Bitcoin, because I don't expect the next bear market to trade below that, but I'm going to just wait until 15 months before the next halving to reaccumulate back in. You got it, Alan. I love your tweet game. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Listen to it always. I think it was a good session. Yeah, Bitcoin growth bot is mine, of course. It's holding right now, open position of about, I don't know, 230%. I expect that to go next to 4 digits, and probably by the end of this bull market, maybe even to 5 digits, 5-digit returns. We'll see. Mid 4 digits. It's headed there. It's absolutely explosive. And yeah, pay attention to my Bitcoin playlist. Understand what's going on over there. Jordan, do you notice that this bull run is so different compared to the previous run to 20K? So wait 1 second. Let me, really good question, but let me go ahead and give perspective on that. So what you're talking about is comparing this right over here, right? You're comparing this move to this climax of the bull run. This is 2017 climax. And that's not where we are right now. This is where we are, Lemmy. We are right over here right now. That circle I just made for you is right over here. This is when we broke the June 2019 high, 2018 high. Wait, let me show you. That right there, that Heath line over there, that's this line right over here. This move over here to the last all-time high was right here at 11,050. That move right over there right now, this is where what is happening right now, right over here. So back then, no one was paying attention to it. Bitcoin, no media was paying attention to this move over here. The media was paying attention to this move over here. So this is going to be, I don't know what but it's going to be above 100,000, right? In my opinion. So that's just a little bit of context, and that's why the media is not paying attention to it, because we're just over here. No. Will you be taking 20%? No. I have an order. No, Robin. Let me be absolutely clear. Of my tradable Bitcoin position, I have orders for 2/9 of that to come off at 18,932, I believe is the price. That's not 20% or even close to 20% of my Bitcoin position. That's just 2/9 of my tradable Bitcoin position. Max Kaiser is under the belief that as Bitcoin makes, the new all-time high. Oh, I'm sorry, 330. Citi, the investment bank Citi, put out a price target of $310,000 on Bitcoin for this 2021 for this halving. It was Citi. If you want to Google, you could just Google, or not even Google, DuckDuckGo preferably, or just search 310,000 Citi Bitcoin. Yeah. Yeah, well, that I mean, no, that doesn't start until after Bitcoin makes the new all-time high, Robert. I think in that video, I clarified that. You don't start looking for those until after the new all-time high is made, and then you have the first 30% pullback, and 170 is the max, right? Like you'd be looking for I don't know, 150, I think I used in the video as the safe zone for that. But watch that, Robert, watch that again. Just watch that video again and in context with everything I just clarified for you. So Peter is asking, I love, just talking about Bitcoin, right? Does the wider adoption plus institutional investment and general economic environment lend some credibility to the extended bull run theory? At what stage can it be dismissed? Well, no, I don't think so, because it's institutional money, this public company money, the wider adoption that is helping Bitcoin go from a market cap of 100 billion to 1 trillion. Because there's a lot of difference buying Bitcoin over here at $1,000 than there is buying Bitcoin over here at 17,000. So that is, the reason why Bitcoin is able to keep doing what it's doing is because that inflow of money and investment. That doesn't extend the bull run. Actually, this bull run is going to be shorter than the last bull run, right? And basically, you take the first cycle low up until the halving, and then less 2%. How many days that took? That's worked so far twice. I assume it's going to work again. I'm putting the end of this bull market somewhere around September 21st, 2021. We'll see. So I think it's going to be a shorter, not longer than last one. Now, when can that be dismissed? I don't know. I'm not too familiar on people talking about the lengthening cycle theory because I don't subscribe to it. I don't think it's correct. Now, if it was proven correct, well, okay, then I'm going to go ahead and see what's going on. But it doesn't jive with what I got going on. I happen to believe. So when, I don't know, if they think that the cycle is lengthening, right? If Bitcoin is trading at $30,000 in the first quarter of 2021, are they wrong? Because did they think it was going to take a longer time to take out the all-time high of 20,000 if this was a lengthening cycle? It doesn't seem that that's what price is showing us at all. Actually, it is showing us exactly what happened last time. As soon as we broke that last little swing high, it was a rapid move into the all-time highs. That is exactly what we're seeing happening this time as well. So, I don't understand the case for a lengthening cycle. So it's nothing that I give any type of credence to. Would I do a walkthrough video on how to start Bitcoin growth pot? No, that's what do you mean how to start it? I'm not following what you're saying. That's money that Bitcoin that the bot has invested. I don't understand what you're saying. No, I don't know that you should take profit there. I don't, a Christian, watch on the Bitcoin playlist, watch the video that's titled 3 Ways to Trade the Bull Market. And the first way that I outline, and I say in that video, that's probably the best way for most people to trade the bull market. Watch that with that in mind, and probably that is the best way for you to trade it. Well, see, institutions institutions are really good at FOMOing, and institutions are really good also with fear. So being that a lot of these institutions have not really done their research appropriately, right? As the bear market phase begins in Bitcoin and Bitcoin comes off 85%, what are those institutions going to do? Are they going to hold that type of drawdown, or are they going to be selling, intensifying the pressure on Bitcoin back on the downside? Think about it. Just because institutions are buying doesn't mean that the price is going to still keep going up. There. That Gene also very much complimented what I just said. On the upside, they're going to call it a bubble and sell too soon. And then they also might have FOMO. If they sell at 100,000 Bitcoin hits 200,000, they might be buying the top. Yeah, you can't join. If you're not invested in the Bitcoin growth bot, you can't join. That's closed. That's just trading its own money. It's not available to you. Again, I don't have the thing over here. It's up over 230% right now. It's headed towards 4 digits, maybe 5-digit gains. Insane. But that's not available to you. That's not available to you at all. I think we'll see a 10x. Will we see a 10x from here? Oh, I don't know that anymore. I don't think so. I have a price target. 140,000 is my goal. I feel confident we achieve that goal. 160,000 is where I put the top at. Is it possible that because of what's going on, when I say what's going on, the current monetary dynamic with the Fed doing massive amount of QE, and also the government about to do massive stimulus, that model breaks to the upside? It's all possible. It's all possible. That's also a really good, right? Stanley Druckenmiller, the best of the best. He bought the dot-com bubble top. He didn't understand tech. He rightfully said, I don't understand tech, but it's going up. He bought the top, the very, very, very top. Lost a couple of $1 billion on it, right? And it's similar situation with Bitcoin. Just because you could be a legend, if you don't understand Bitcoin, you could be buying the top. What else are we looking at over here? There was something else we were talking. Oh, 10x from here, $170,000. I mean, it's possible, but that's not probable. It's possible, but that goes beyond. Watch the video on the playlist that says, at what price would I sell my Bitcoin in the bull market? And that will give you a very clear idea of what's going on in my head and what I'm thinking. And all I can say is, listen, it makes sense to listen to those who have been right, right? And that's all I could say. Silver. We could get a couple more, right? Yeah, he's amazing. Stanley is absolutely the man. He is the one who came up with the trade to take down the Bank of England. It was working for George Soros. And George Soros was the one who told him to push that trade, to really go in hard on it. But he came up with the additional with the additional trade idea. All right, this afternoon's video, by the way, I think is, as I started off with a little bit of fire, is going to be a similar situation. And as I rightfully so called Game of Trades out there, I'm going to be doing the same thing on something else and going to get that out of the way. Make sure everyone is on the page that I'm at, and then we'll keep going. Why people sell the most expensive digital gold on the planet for this cheap? That's a great question over there. Right? That's a fantastic question over there. Familia Carrizo. Listen, right? Selling at $17,000. Why? Bitcoin hasn't even made the new all-time high. If you understand Bitcoin and what happens during its cycles and after it takes out the new all-time high, it's just getting started. Now, some of you who have a lot of insight understand the 30% pullbacks. That's why you might be taking some profit over here. Again, that's listed as number 2 as ways to trade Bitcoin. It is the most difficult, right? So, that's not even number 2. That's number 3. That's the third way, the most difficult way. Listen, the easiest way is number 1. Well, that makes me happy to hear. For real, right? For multiple reasons. For number 1, that I was able to outline the case for you, to explain it, and for you to be able to come to understand that and hopefully also take advantage of that. But it also gives me some context that not everyone's on the same page on that. And that makes sense, right? I'm looking at charts for over 20 years, and I look at them for hours a day. I have an enormous amount of experience. And, that's one thing that I could be a lot more understanding about, as people have lots of questions and they're just not coming from the same perspective as I am. So I appreciate that. That definitely helped click a little trigger for me. What do I think about XRP? I think XRP is not the token that you want to be invested in for multiple reasons, but the most glaring one is that it is completely centralized. When I say centralized, meaning if you want to run a node, you need permission from Ripple, the parent company. The parent company Ripple also holds the vast majority of these tokens, and they sell them to retail traders to fund their company called Ripple. That is their business plan. And if you want to be involved in that, then understand what you're invested in. Because if you think the buzz about cross-border settlements is where it's at, understand central banks are developing and launching their own digital currencies that take care of that. That's true, Anthony. Since they have made Bitcoin shortable, don't you think that would affect the cycles? Yeah, well, George, it does. You have a lot of people right now short Bitcoin, and you have a lot of people short Bitcoin. There were. Do you remember like Tony Bays? Does that guy's name ring a bell? And as Bitcoin was over here, he was calling. And by the way, on my Twitter, December 2018, I called the bottom over here. He was calling for Bitcoin 1,000, as were so many YouTubers were calling for Bitcoin 1,000 at that point. And yeah, a lot of people are shorting Bitcoin, not only since then or from then, but since then, and continue to short it. And when you short Bitcoin, guess what? Eventually, you're going to get wrecked and you got to cover. I can't find your Bitcoin video you explained about the bullet. Ruben, it's on the playlist of the channel. Just go to the channel playlist and you could find the videos. I'll post it for you right now. Yeah, at the time I would call it myself hyper BS, you know? There you go. There's the video for you. It's on the playlist right there. Are we seeing a short squeeze here? I don't know. What we're seeing here though is exactly what we saw happen over here. This is exactly the phase we're in right now today. That's the all-time high on Bitcoin. This line over there, that's when we broke that last swing high. And that's exactly the price action we're seeing in just about as many days. In just about as many days. So we're seeing similar price action. What would be the best play on Bit? I don't think you can invest in central banks. For honestly, I think central banks through the CBDC, the IMF is releasing central bank digital currency. That's what they're gonna. That's what it's going to be used for settlement. Is it possible one day in the future that Bitcoin is what is used for settlements? I think there's about a 5% chance of that happening. You should own some in case it does. When I say I'm selling all my Bitcoin, I'll hold on to about 5% of it, just in case. Just in case. All right, everyone. That's it for this session. I hope you all have a beautiful morning. Thanks for spending this time for me. I really think it was a great session. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from it. I hope you did as well. Thanks, everyone, for the insight, the comments, for the positivity, for the community. I really am grateful for each and every one of you. May God bless you. May you have a beautiful day. And we're going to go out with some nice music over here. Kips, I will this week find that new track of yours and get that on here. There we go, Justin. That's two people in the last 2 days who are up over $100,000. And that's awesome. We're going to print more than a few millionaires. TJ, that's a pleasure to hear, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for also sharing that little tip over there. But that's amazing to hear. That really makes me. Oh, by the way, and PS, I think XRP during this bull market is going to rip. I really do. Will it take out $3, the all-time high? I mean, it's possible. It could happen. I just don't think that for me is where I want to invest my money. All right, everybody. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you for this. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed all of you. I'll talk to you later.